component is getting updated or not. So default value of this should component update is true. So if the user is passing the value as true, and suppose if he don't want to update the component, so he can update like he can return that component value to the false. So obviously the component further it won't get updated in the future, I mean operations. So by default this should component update is like true, it will return the value true. And one more hook is like we are having here component did update. So this component phase will happen just after rendering the component. Once the component is rendered, immediately after that we will get this component did update lifecycle method. And one more lifecycle method we have like component will unmount. So to component will unmount is like it will unmount the component from the DOM, document object model. So it will finally remove your component from the DOM, so that it will ensure like the component life cycle has been ended. So these are the main five hooks we are going to discuss today. So already I have taken one package.json, and here I have given this dependencies as this React and React them. This is nothing. This is you can ignore this one. And the React scripts dev dependencies and start and all I have given start build and all. So these are the defaults. Whatever the defaults NPM has given, the same defaults as I have updated here. So I have taken here two folders. One is like public and also source. So once we will start from the public first, like creating the index.html. So let me go ahead and create this index.html. So for what is the document type? Document type, this will specify like we are going to use all HTML features. Document type, doc type HTML means. And one more thing is like HTML lang en for English. And one more is like head. And this head I'm going to have here meta, and here it is like char set, it is equal to some UTF-8 Unicode. Okay. And we are having like a title here, like title here. So in this title I am going to have here React app for life cycles. Okay. And one more thing is like body. So here in the body we will see like a div and ID is equal to root. And yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's about index.html. And here yeah, index.html. And now in the source I am going to create the app.js first. JS. Also I want to create like a app.css, and I want to take one life cycle component, that is like life cycle dot component dot ts. Okay. Sorry, JSX. So yeah, these are the three things. Uh, so first, I will start from the app.js. Here I will like import. So what is the first module? React from. I'm going to get from the React. And one more thing is like I'm going to import the styles. To import the styles, I have to use app.css. Okay, and one more. And also, I want to import here lifecycle methods. That lifecycle, whatever we are going to have, that I will import here. Lifecycle. This is component. This component I am going to import here. It's like dot slash lifecycle component. Okay, now I am going to create class app extends react dot component. So here first phase of the I mean, even though it is a life cycle, the first state is like I mean constructor will get executed any uh, so here it is like a super, and this dot state is equal to some this dot state. I will declare this one and I'm going to give here render. This render I'm going to give here return. So return also, we also I am going to give like div some class name equal to app, and yeah, and also I have here I can put here some header and class name is equal to some app header. Okay, so in this I am going to put two things. One is like a button. On click it should change the uh, I mean state actually. So my button name is like toggle life cycle life cycles. Okay, so in this button I am going to give like on click method. So in this on click I am going to have here this dot set state and then I am going to change the I will declare the state of on my component as like show child something like true, and also I'm going to give here some text. Initially it is like empty. Okay, now set state, this dot set state, now it's like a state. Yeah, it will tend to some show child, and I'm going to give here not show child. So once it is true, it will become the set state will become false. Why if I click on this toggle lifecycle button. So and one more button I am taking here. One more button I am taking here. That's like on click. So here also it's like this dot set state, this dot set state, and then state is I'm going to update the state with the updated text here in this, like text colon state dot text some plus hello or something. Okay, so this is here I am updating the text. Update text, that's my button name. So finally we'll see one more thing, that is like if this dot state dot show child, if it is equal to some if it is true at that point of time, it should go and execute life cycle component. Should go and execute life cycles component. I mean, it should should go and execute the life cycles component, like text is equal to this dot state dot text. Okay. So it will go and if it is true in this point of time, it will go and execute the life cycle component, and also it will update the state of the text in that component. It will go and execute the state of that particular text in that component. So, and if not, it will go and it will show it won't return anything. It will return null. So this about app. Here in this app, I have taken two states. One is like show child and also text. And here I have taken two buttons. Like in the one button, I have taken like a toggle life cycle. So once I click on this, the show child, whatever other state I have taken, it will become false. And what will happen is like uh, at very first initial point, this whatever the life cycle methods has been loaded, that will when once I write this whatever the life cycle methods at very first initial point, if you click on the life cycle button, whatever the default life cycle methods are there, they will be displayed. And if you are clicking on this update text, again few lifecycle methods like update and all, uh, they will get displayed. So this is for the very first initial point lifecycle methods, what they will get displayed. This by this event we'll come to know what are the events will occur once you update the component. Okay, so here I have taken like a show child. If the child is like true at that point of time, I have to pass this text, whatever the text I have updated here, I have to pass this text to the lifecycle component. So we'll see what we are going to receive in this lifecycle component, and and what are the lifecycle components we are going to write in this JSX. Right. So here it's like this actually. Import React from React, right? For React from React, and class life cycles extends React dot component. Here I am going to like constructor, and it's like super. Yeah, it's like console.log constructor. Okay. And one more, what are the first we have taken will component uh, did mount. Component did mount into lately console.log component did mount. And one more thing is like component did update. Component did update. So I'm going to did update, and component will unmount. This will be executed at very last. And should component update. Should component update. Here I am taking like next. This is oops. So here it is like this console.log should component. Yeah, 1 second. Component update console.log should component update, comma, next drops, and return. I'm going to give here next props dot text. So whatever the update you have done from the app.js, the text will be coming by default. It will call this should component update, and it will update this particular next to props dot text, and it will take like this dot props dot text. So this will get the data from the app dot JS, the main component. From that component itself we'll get that. And then one more thing is like render console.log. So I'm going to give here render. This is also at very first only this render will get executed, and data. So here I am going to give here div and some class name equal to some life cycles. So here it is like some life cycle components and this is, and one more thing is like this dot props dot text. Whatever the text it is updated, that text we can able to see in the render, and also export finally export default life cycles we have to mention. export default life cycles. So component did not component constructor component did not component update, and the component did update, the component will mount, and will unmount, and then component should update, should take next crops, and also we are going to return here life cycle methods, and okay. Yeah, more thing is like here we have to give some CSS styles here actually. So this is styles like first we'll take app, we'll take like text align some center, okay, and one more thing is like button. So for the button I am giving some margin, some 10 pixel, and some background color, some white, yeah, white, and color means font color has some black, and width is some 140 pixel or something I gave, and height is equal to some 40 pixel, okay. And border I am not giving any border here, if in that case I can mention as none, and okay. And about life cycles, margin top column text, and dot app hyphen I think yes, more thing is like what we have here, that is like app header we have, so we can wait for the app header dot app hyphen header. So for this background color I am giving some uh, blue, or can give some weight, and min height, and I am giving here some 100 pixel or something, and display flux, and flux direction column, and align items. I'm going to align that center, and justify content as some center, and yeah, color as some white. Okay, so, and what of it, yeah, these are the CSS we are going to apply. Yeah. So finally our app dot whatever we are having, this app dot js, it will be rendering to the app. I mean this app whatever we are having here, that will be rendered to the here in this export default. I have to export that default app, and like export default app, exporting this app so that I can use this. So, and also one more thing I want to write, that is like index.js. So that is something like index.js. So, 1 second, I think I have to rename it properly to associate the root and the app. I want to give index.js. Here I am going to give here React from React, and I am going to give here import, and here I am giving React DOM from React DOM, and one more thing is like import app from. I'm going to give from the app whatever we are having, and finally I want to associate this app to the root. So for that, React DOM dot render, and here I am going to give here some app, whatever we are having here, same thing, and we have to give document dot get element by id, and here we have to mention root. Here we have to mention the root actually. Yeah, that's how we have to associate. Yeah. So everything came almost. Yeah, everything came, and we'll see like this how it will be rendering. Yeah. So here I'm going to start like start. 1 second, I think. One second. Okay, we can find here like 0, 0. I think I have taken 2. I think so. No, I think something else. Yes. Should do this. So where switch it. Yeah, switch is not defined. Not defined. This is not state dot. Okay, line 21, 23. It is component.js. 23. Okay. So by default, I can see here like two texts I kept. I mean, two buttons I kept. One is like toggle life cycles and also update the text. These are so we'll see like very first initial point. What are the default life cycle methods will be coming to the picture. If you take very first initial time, so you will be having like first constructor and one more thing is like render means immediately it will go for the this one. It won't execute any other in between. So it will go for the render life cycle means it will and finally it will go for the component did mount component did mount. So these are the very first initial point they are executed. So if I click on this update text, what will happen? If I click on this update text means I am going to get I am going to get the state of this hello. Set dot state text whatever it is there, it will be updated with the hello, and that will be displayed for us like this here. So at the below point, I can able to see like this dot state dot text, this information I will be seeing the below the button. Like I can find here some hello. So up to 1 to 3 only at very first initial point they will get executed. First it will go and execute in the constructor, and it will go for the render, and it will come for the component did mount. And if we are doing any changes in the component, it will go and do like component should component update. So this should component update whatever we are having, that text whatever it is having, it will get updated with the hello. And finally again it will go for the render, and it will update the component did update lifecycle will get updated. Component did update. If you see here, component did update. And when this component will unmount will get executed means if you are going to toggle this life cycle, if I click on this toggle life cycle, it will get unmounted. So what this toggle life cycle button will do, it will go and execute. It will go and change the state of the component. It will go and change the state of the component to the false. So once this show child is becoming false, obviously there won't be anything, and it will be returning null. Once the component is returning null, and it will undergo the state of component will unmount. Yeah, one more time I am telling this one. So at very first initial point, we'll be having like two buttons, toggle life cycles and also update text. At very first, the blocks which are executed are in constructor, and one is like constructor, other one is render, and then it will go for component did mount. So component did mount is a place where if you want to do any web related web service related operations, we have to do with component did mount. So all these three will be executed at very first initial point of time. So once they are executed, if I did any change in this component, if I did any change in this component, if I am going to execute this update text, so the next lifecycle method is like should component update, and it is going to update like text hello, and again it will go for render one more time, and it will update the component did update. Component has been updated, it will tell to the customer. So, and if I want to and that whatever the whatever the text is updated here, that will be displayed with this life cycles text, this dot state dot text. This life cycles did dot state dot text, whatever it is having here, that will be it will receive the props here, whatever the text state is there, that is received, and it will send this to the next dot next props dot text. If it is then it will update the current component with the particular text, whatever it is there. So finally it will be displaying to the text and hello. This detail will be displayed for us. So if you are seeing from this app, actually here we can able to find like this dot state dot text plus hello. What is this state dot text? This is nothing but our component should get update, and this text actually. And finally hello, it will be displayed. So likewise it will take the components and it will render to the front end. And finally if we want to unmount the component, if we are returning to the state of the component to the null, and finally it will go for the unmount state, and once we are toggling this one, the component will be unmounted from the DOM. That's how the operations will work with the lifecycle method. You people having questions like Nataraj?
I think he has some Wi-Fi issues, so he got disconnected.
Oh. Okay.
No questions. It's clear question.
Okay. Okay. When he was disconnected?
I think 8:30, I guess.
Okay, some half an hour back.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
15 minutes back. Okay. Fine. Anyhow, I will send this recording, so I will update so that it can.
Okay.